Hey, I'm Alex Radical from Board Game Co, and I have a new series-ish that I'm starting today. And I say series-ish because this won't be a frequent video series. This is not a once-a-month series. This might be a once every 7 months or every 3 months or whenever I happen to have enough games that I want to do this. Basically, today I'm doing 6 prototype look-backs, effectively. These are games I covered the prototypes during crowdfunding. They have since arrived. I have since continued to play them. And I just want to update you, like, how have they gone? How has time been to these games? Do I still feel the same way? What have I dove into? Have I tried expansions? Just kind of giving you general thoughts on where these games landed now that they're here. You see, generally whenever I cover a prototype, there's usually, well, whenever I cover a prototype and like it, if I don't like it, I move on from it. It is what it is. Whenever I cover a prototype and I like it and I back it and I get it, there's usually 3 things that happen to that game later. Option 1 is it sits on my shelf looking at me with lots of guilt and it doesn't actually get played yet. Yet is the key word. Hopefully they will get played. There's like 5 or 6 prototypes I really want to play. I just haven't had a chance. Not prototypes, games that were prototypes, they've now arrived, that I really want to play and I just haven't had the chance to do so. There's ISS Vanguard, there's Fall of the Mountain King, there's Fall of the Mountain King, ISS Vanguard, there's what's it called? Oh my gosh, there's the Galactic Renaissance or whatever it was. I think it's called Galactic Renaissance. There's a whole bunch of these games. Lords of Ragnarok, for that matter. These are games I covered during the prototype phase. They've since arrived. They're still on my shelf and they haven't gotten tabled. So I can't update you as to whether my initial reflections held true or whether things have changed. I just need to play them first. That's one category of stuff, and things definitely fall into that category. Then there are games that I play and I do eventually move on from, for whatever reason it might be. I don't have actually any recent examples offhand. I think recent ones that have left, I think Paperback Adventures was one that recently left. That's a game I had for a while. I don't think I covered that. I backed that game. I don't think I covered it during the prototype phase. So, which means it's not really relevant for this video, because the goal of this is to try to talk about and review things, or re-review things that I've already reviewed, but a long time ago. But either way, games do come in, and they do leave, and you'll usually see them in my Games Leaving the Collection video. I'll give my thoughts, my opinions, what changed, where things are. At the end of the day, I do assume that most games are not staying forever. Most games are about enjoying them, for me at least. Everyone's going to have different ways they approach the hobby. For me, I'd say that the vast majority of games I play will never even enter my collection. Some will enter my collection, they'll be enjoyed for any number of months or possibly years or 2, and that's fine. And then a select few really stand the test of time. Maybe a handful of games every year really stick around for the long term. And long term, I think of long term as 5 years plus, not forever. Nothing's forever for me. But the last category is games I don't necessarily talk about a lot, which are games that I like them. I cover the game, I back the game, they've arrived, I've continued to play them, and I like them, but I'm like, I don't have anything new to add. I haven't played a ton of new expansions, so I can't tell you that my thoughts and opinions have changed there. I just want to update you. I've been playing these, and I do like them. So my initial hype or excitement, whatever level it was, here's where I am now. That's the point of this video series. And how often I do it is whenever I feel I have enough games to actually do it. And we're going to start with the one that kind of motivated me to want to do this, which is Draft and Write Records. Draft and Write Records, I covered this during the prototype phase, and I enjoyed it. It's a roll and write game from inside up. You're basically going to be, marking little spots on these sheets as you collect cards that represent band members or various other sections you'll be filling in, all while trying to figure out the cascading way things jump, and you get extra bonuses here and extra cash there and move your chore bus there. It's a fun little just do everything, and everything will slowly start expanding around you as you just check these boxes off. I've played this, I want to say like 7, 8 times since I've actually gotten the physical game. It's one that I've definitely been enjoying, and I don't know if it'll be a keeper. I don't. There's lots of games in this genre that I have, that I enjoy, that have that cascading effect from games like Gone Strong Clever, Three Sisters, this whole genres of games that I have that I definitely very much enjoy. But Draft and Write Records is currently one that I am enjoying and having a fun time with it as I continue to play through it. So it's a good game, and I just want to let you know that I still think it's a good game. Now, the one critique I had this during the prototype phase, and I still have it now, is the expansion content is just packs of cards that you have to mix in a way that I don't think the cards are interesting enough to mix in. I don't want to deal with the tediousness of figuring out how to manage and balance the deck. So to me, the expansion content of this game is basically useless. I have it and don't plan on ever using it. Will I use it one day? Maybe. But I don't have any plans to try to mix in and adjust the content. Like, it doesn't feel like it changes the game to me. It feels like it adds cards that I don't care about the distribution of symbols. For other cards, I don't care about the distribution of symbols. I mean, I deal with those cards as they come up. I don't think about them before the game begins. So I don't care for the expansion stuff, but the base game, been having a lot of fun with it, and definitely still recommend this one. Then we have Illiterati. Illiterati is one that, again, covered this in the prototype phase, and I still think it's fun. I mentioned Paperback Adventures actually left my collection. Well, Illiterati, I would not have thought would outlast Paperback Adventures. And again, I'm not sure if this is a forever game. I don't know if it is. But I've been playing this one a decent amount, and I think that the cooperative version of trying to come up with wards, working against the clock, one of the things that Paperback Adventures lost me, because I really liked, there were things Paperback Adventures did that I really liked. It kind of solved the taking forever process that you have in games like hardback or paperback, where you're just taking forever to optimize your perfect ward, and also it's like a Slay the Spire kind of approach as you build your hand and iterate. And I really like that solo concept to a degree. Where Paperback Adventures fell flat for me over time, I still think it's a great game, but where I did decide to have it leave my collection, is it is a longer experience where you're being very thinky and analytical, and there's some other games I think I'd rather play if I'm playing that kind of thing, such as Slay the Spire. Or recently I've been enjoying Unstoppable from John D. Clear, from the solo upcoming Renegade game, simply solo line or whatever. Illiterati, through the cooperative nature of it, keeps you a little bit more invested, and it's a shorter game than Paperback Adventures. So this one, I don't think it's better than Paperback Adventures, but I think it's easier to table and has more longevity because of that. If I'm looking at it purely from a gameplay perspective, I think I prefer Paperback Adventures gameplay. But Illiterati is charming, it's easy to table, it's fun. I don't know if it's a forever game, but it's certainly a for right now game. I've played it, continue to play it, and still recommend this one. Then from there we have Tiwanaku. Tiwanaku, which I originally reviewed as Pachamama. It has this slipcover, which I think is less attractive than just the box, but I'm not ready to throw it out yet. Anyways, Tiwanaku, which I reviewed as Pachamama, is a deduction game, a competitive deduction game. There is a solo mode. I think there's a cooperative mode. I've never played those, but have I played the solo mode? I might have played the solo mode, I don't remember. But anyways, Tiwanaku is basically a game of deduction. You're trying to figure out the distribution of tiles, of colors, in order to be able to basically collect those various tokens, make sacrifices. But the thing I like about it is that it's not just deduction, there's also an area of tactical gameplay along with the deduction. So it's both. You have to deduce things, but you also have to play tactically. One of the things I actually enjoy about Spectral from Bitewing Games is kind of that puzzle. It's not just deduction, it's tactical play combined with deduction, although very different ways they approach the tactical gameplay. But I really like Tiwanaku. I have played this a bunch in person, I've played it a lot on BGA, I have still continued to enjoy this game, and it's still holding strong for me. This is one I covered during the prototype phase, and it's still one of my favorite deduction games. What's the deduction game I played recently? Oh, I like I covered the Core of Discovery from Off the Page Games. That's probably similar to where I rank Tiwanaku, but I think I like Tiwanaku more. Tiwanaku is a strong game for me. Really enjoy it. Highly recommend it. If you like deduction games, this to me is one of my favorites in the genre. Definitely recommend checking it out if you have a chance. Then we have Kinghill over here. Kinghill is a game I almost got rid of. You see, one of the things that happens, I kind of touched upon this in the video already, I get a prototype, I get a game that I covered a game, I like the game, I back the game, and then it arrives a year and a half later, and the question is my interest still there? Am I still excited about it? And very often the answer is yes, but sometimes the answer is no. There have been games that I got in where I was like, either my collection changed, or my taste changed, or my game group changed. In some cases, in games like Lords of Ragnarok or Galactic Renaissance, or the other game, oh my gosh, the game that replaced Kemet or updated Kemet, whatever it's called again, I can't remember offhand. But those are all games that I backed when I was playing, or even Fall of Mountain King. Those are all games I backed when my group was playing a lot more area control games, and we don't play that as much. So those are games that have kind of adjusted the level of playability just based around my group. But as far as the particulars, in general, games might come in, and for whatever reason, you're less excited to play them than you were when you backed them or when I played them last. And that happened with Kinghill for me. It showed up, and I was like, I remember liking this. I gave it a 4 to 5. It's a decent score. Like a 4 to 5 is a recommendation at that point. It's a game I recommend. It's not just a good game. It's a very good game. And I was like, you know what? I don't know if I'm excited about Kinghill. And I almost got rid of it. But then I had a chance to play it with somebody who had a copy but hadn't played their copy. And it's like, why don't we play it? I know the game. I'll teach it to you. We'll pull it out. We play it. I had to go through the rules again just very quickly because prototype versus final game. But then I had a lot of fun and I really enjoyed it. And I've since tabled it a few more times. Kinghill is one that I backed, forgot how good it was, almost got rid of it, and then fortunately played it before getting rid of it. And I still like it a lot. It's a two-player worker placement game where you are leveling up your workers. There's also a degree of building an army and going head-to-head while you defend your castle, a little Hearthstone-adjacent gameplay. It's a very unique combination of things that ultimately works to give you a very satisfying worker placement competitive experience. I think it's excellent, and if you do have a chance to pick this up, and if that sounds at all like the kind of thing you'd enjoy, I definitely recommend checking it out because, well, I mean, it's still holding on for me for right now. And I mentioned I've been talking about these as forever games for right now. Tiwanaku I don't anticipate getting rid of anytime soon. Illiterati and Draft Night Records, I think they're going to be around for a bit, but I'm not saying forever. And Kinghill as well, I think it's around for a bit. Forever is a very tough word, but I think Kinghill's going to be around for a bit. Now, one that I'm a little bit mixed on while also enjoying a lot is Slay the Spire. Now, Slay the Spire, I hope to eventually do a 12x12 updated review for you. My 12x12 review series is where I try to cover the game from all facets, really going into it in a deep dive, covering a lot of different things, playing as all the characters, playing with the various ascensions, playing with the various challenges or whatever it is. I want to really do a deep dive review of this. But I don't know when that will be, because sometimes games can take a long time to be able to get in the requisite number of plays and attempts and strategies and all these different things. And so, I don't know when that will be, but for right now, until that happens, if that happens, you never really know if they will, I have to play it a lot, but both things are true with Slay the Spire. I am loving this game. I think it's fantastic. I check out the Dice Tower review if you have a chance. I know they all loved it. They just recently covered it, and I've been diving into this one since it arrived, so I have been playing it, and I still think it's great. The only caveat I'd give is I've also been on a bit of a kick of playing a lot of the digital implementations of these types of games. Playing Balatro, playing Slay the Spire, playing Monster Train, playing Spellbook or whatever it is. I've been playing a lot of these digital roguelike deck builder kind of things, and I both love the board game Slay the Spire, but I also recognize that it's so much more work to set up and table compared to playing, well, on your phone. And so I am in a weird spot with it where I like it, I'm playing it, but for every one game I play of Slay the Spire physically, I'm playing it like 4 times digitally or 5 times digitally, and so I don't know where things are with that. Now, again, it's not going anywhere, to be very clear. This game is good enough, it's not going anywhere, it's not leaving my collection, at least not yet. Will it be a forever? I don't know. I think it's sticking around for a long time. I think the core gameplay is too satisfying, and it plays well solo and plays well multiplayer. But for right now, just want to let you know, this is still holding up for me just fine. I hope to do eventually a 12x12 review of it, but that won't be happening anytime soon. And then lastly, we have another one which I hope to be doing a updated review as I dive into expansions and stuff, but we have The Witcher. The Witcher Old World, having a lot of fun with this one. It's like another one that I have been playing a bit, I've been going through it, I've been playing the base game, I haven't yet had an expansion yet, which is the tricky part, because I keep trying this with new people in my group, and so I keep starting from scratch on this one. So I've played the base game multiple times since getting it, I don't know, I have like 4 or 5 plays under my belt, not a ton, but like I've been enjoying this one since covering the original campaign. And this is still an incredible experience that I have not yet gotten close to being bored of. I could see the possibility of me getting bored or wanting more variety, but the expansions add so much room for that I'm just not worried. Like Slay the Spire, I do hope to do a 12x12 review once I've covered all the expansions, but also like Slay the Spire, that might be in 2 or 3 years. My 12x12 reviews are not meant to be something that immediately comes out right away. It's meant to be, hey, I've been sitting with this game for a while, whether the while is 6 months or whether a while is 6 years, and here's where I can really give you a full in-depth opinion of everything because I've really had my time with it. And those, again, they could happen sooner, but even sooner is like 6 months, and the long tail is just whenever. Who knows? There are some games in my collection I'll be doing 12x12 reviews of because I've had it for 8 years, and I can comprehensively cover it. But that's what we have over here. These are 6 prototypes that are 6 games that I covered during the prototype phase. I like the games, I back the games, I've been playing the games, and they're still holding on just fine for me. The real problem for me is going to be getting those games that I haven't been able to tabled, so I can do another round of these prototype updated reviews. And of course, more games will come in. They come in on a regular basis. And eventually, when I feel I have 6, 7, 5, anywhere between 5 or 7 of these again to go into, I'll be doing this again. Just quick, flashy updates of games I covered and letting you know how I feel about them right now. In any case, and until next time, I'm Alex Radcliffe from Board Game Co. I hope you found this video helpful. And as always, I hope you have a good one.